Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be round number 3, and unfortunately, I mean, I'm sure you guys did hear that. It does seem just a tad bit quiet. See, now we're getting some intro music. However, the iRacing audio sounded a bit crackly. Going to be a little bit of a scuffed intro here, but ladies and gentlemen, my name is Mac Nelson on behalf of the OutPost Racing Network. I will be on your production and commentary here, and when I switched over to all the starting soon stuff, everything was fine. I come back, and now, well, iRacing has some crackly audio, so we're going to try to get to the bottom of that, but welcome in, everyone. Thank you so much for inviting us into your home here on this wonderful, wonderful Monday night. It is round number 3 in the Dirt Revival Tour, season number 3. And we're here at Lernerville, Sarver, Pennsylvania. As once again, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen, trying to, we'll try to sort this out just a tiny bit. I do know that the audio wasn't really sounding the greatest. We're going to, we're going to try to get that solved for you guys here very, very, very shortly. Oh, there we go. Okay, we've got our intro music again. And my ears are not deceiving me. We're still getting a little bit of that audio crackle-lackle. So, yeah, once again, I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Going to... hopefully everything is going to be quite okay here. As, once again, I apologize, a very weird problem. Not one I've encountered very often. Now, in my ears, in my side of things, in my audio, it is fine. It has settled out. Now, I do need to check the actual live broadcast. All right, fantastic. So I do believe we're fine now, ladies and gentlemen. I am so sorry. So sorry. That problem just arose. That's going to be Tyler Bickford running a 14.51. We'll just kind of go ahead and restart things, I suppose. Ladies and gentlemen, my name Mac Nelson here on the Outpost Racing Network, bringing you guys the Dirt Revival Tour Season number 3. It's going to be round number 3 here from Lernerville as we get qualifying set and underway. We'll take you through the track intel. Located in Sarver, Pennsylvania. Opened in 1949. It is a 1/4 mile dirt oval, known as the action track for its high-speed racing, multi-groove racing as well. I'm sure we'll be seeing a little bit of that as we evolve throughout the night here tonight. There's the number 10 of Casey Borgmeyer, trying to get in some good qualifying laps there. Nate Wimhoff setting a 14.45, going to be good enough for P4 currently. We'll get you locked in on the schedule. We have eclipsed past halfway in the season here tonight at Lernerville. Going to be 70 laps in these super late models here tonight. I-55 going to be round number 4. Charlotte going to end out our bi-weekly series here on August the 10th. Brandon Jones looks to be the fastest guy so far, as qualifying has just a few seconds remaining. Not a lot of drivers out there on track getting laps in currently. Everyone pretty much done. Looks like Dalston Rutherford is going to be on the podium. Going to be a 14.38 for him. Stephen Gaines the third with a 14.38 as well. But Brandon Jones going to be the king of qualifying, as that means he has the honor of starting us in heat race number 1. He will be the first car out as we look at our starting grid here for round number 3, heat race number 1. Brandon Jones in the number 4. Part of Midwest Sim Sports going to be on pole with Dylan Jones. Going to be a Jones lockout there on the front row. He will be in that number 12. Kevin Horner in the 1-2-1. He is inside row number 2, followed by Jacob Isaac in P4. Jeffrey Hyatt and Kinzer Tosh are going to share row number 3, as Zach Staggs is going to get the nod in P7. So very excited to join you guys here tonight at Lernerville, one of my favorite, if not my favorite track on the iRacing official service here when we talk about the dirt oval side of things. And I had the pleasure of calling the SDS, which was also here at Lernerville last go around. So it's going to be fairly familiar to a lot of these drivers, to be fair, because a lot of the drivers you see tonight would have ran in that race last Friday. So it's going to be very interesting to see how the strategies switch up here at Lernerville, how the drivers can really dissect, adapt, and most importantly, evolve up into the spotting tower. Brandon Jones in the number 15 is going to get us up and away for heat race number 1. I do believe we're only taking the top 2 here, gentlemen. So if you don't finish in the top 2, you're going to have to make your way out of the consies. There's Jacob Isaac flirting with death up there where the angels sing, up in the top. He's got Dylan Jones in front of him. They're going to make it 3 wide. Dylan Jones is the meat. He cannot stay off of the 11 of Kinzer Tosh, and that is going to be a 360 for him. Car stopped. That is going to be our first yellow flag of the night, I would imagine, unless Kinzer Tosh has gotten off the racing surface, which he actually has. Fair play to him. So we are going to stay green, actually. Brandon Jones and Kevin Horner now able to go at it how they want. Brandon Jones in the number 15, Kevin Horner in the 1-2-1. These two have looked fantastic through all, or I should say both, the rounds of the Dirt Revival Tour that we have had here in season number 3. Jeffrey Hyatt, another one who is always looking for a win. He's always challenging for a win, and although it doesn't always look like it, with where he is on the grid, he does always have those plans to win. He can be in P15 with 10 laps left, and he'll still somehow be on the bottom step of that roster when it's all said and done. So the latter half of the race always going to be Jeffrey Hyatt's playground. 3 laps to go. Dylan Jones and Zach Staggs are getting into each other on the front straight as they pass the flag stand, but they're now into turns number 3 and 4. Zach Staggs going to throw a little bit of a slider. Maybe not a slider, but he washes up into that exit line of Dylan Jones, but Dylan Jones is not going to waver. A bit hard into turns number 1 and 2. I thought Dylan Jones might have been seeing the berm, and I mean, this is literally for last place, but I mean, these two guys up here in the front, they had it handled from the jump. It's going to be Brandon Jones who gets the win, and Kevin Horner in the 1-2-1 coming up right behind him. Jeffrey Hyatt finishing on the bottom step of that rostrum. However, since I do believe we're only taking the top 2 out of the heats. Oh, and I'm getting word to update my trading paints. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will never, and I mean never, reject someone wanting me to refresh trading paints. I love the new liveries. So we'll get that updated for you guys there. We'll head into heat race number 2, which I'm sure plans to be just as electric as our first one here. Let's get into your grid. Stephen Gaines the third is going to be on pole in the 07, although he is representing the number 2, it looks like. Maybe the 207 for him. Aiden Lewis in the number 55. Going to be starting outside pole row in P2. Jordan McLean and Casey Borgmeyer going to be row number 2 with Tyler Bickford and Jordan Indries in row number 3. It's going to be another Aiden, but this time Aiden Lambert representing Lightning Sim Sports. He is going to round out the grid in P7. I believe we got the update on trading paints. I hit the little refresh button. Hopefully wasn't too immersion breaking for you guys. Lights are going to be out on the iRacing official pace truck. It will pull in very, very shortly. And we will begin heat race number 2 here on the Outpost Racing Network. It's a Monday night, so you know exactly what's going on. There's a good chance that the DRT Season 3 is coming live to your TV or computer screen. Stephen Gaines gets us started. 10 laps to go here in heat number 2. I can't wait to see the start that someone like Tyler Bickford might give us. You can see him towards the back of the frame. He is on the hunt. Looking to feed down on that bottom side and we get around Jordan McLean quick. But Jordan McLean was turning a lot of laps in practice, and it looked like he was hitting his lines very, very consistently. He was very precise with the placement of that car, so I peg him to have a very, very good night here tonight. And also, something else I'm clocking, Aiden Lewis not exactly jumping out to the fantastic starts that he normally has in his heat races. So when one door closes, another one opens. Jordan McLean looking to maybe knock Aiden Lewis off of that second place spot. Tyler Bickford still has something to say. There's still 6 laps to go. We're still very much in the infant stage of this heat race. But it's not going to be very, very long before these drivers have to start making some moves. They've got a good minute or two, maybe, to figure out what they're going to do. Probably more, just like a minute. And if you are the number 5 of Jordan McLean, it's very, very gut-wrenching to see that you are placing the car so precisely. The lap times are so good from him right now, but unfortunately, he just cannot catch up. And there's the slip. You saw the right rear dip over the berm for just a little moment, but that's all it takes. Tyler Bickford is now going to be on the hunt. But it really doesn't matter. 2 sticks up in the air for Barney the Flagman. And if what I believe is true, which I think it is, taking the top 2 out of the heat races here tonight, it really wasn't a question. Steven Gaines III, who's already won a race here in the Dirt Revival Tour season number 3. He's going to get another heat race victory with Aiden Lewis in the number 55, bringing it home P2. He is going to transfer. Jordan McLean, Tyler Bickford, Aiden Lambert, Casey Borgmeyer, and Jordan Endries are going to have to get it out the consies. And now that makes way for heat race number 3. Drivers pretty much already gridded up. They are absolutely ready to start here tonight. Your starting grid, Dalston Rutherford. Part of Trackside Dynamics, going to be on that pole position with Kevin Walker. Part of Adapt Sim Sports in P2. Nate Wimhoff on the inside of row number 2 with Jamie Kreutoff in the number 25 in P4. Big Ed Justin Byram, part of Coast to Coast Sim Sports. He sits in P5 with Scott Colm Jr., part of KRE and JW Graphics. Outside row number 3. Only going to be a 6-car heat here. I believe the other 2 we had were 7-car heats, so we're going to be cutting out 2/3 of the grid here just off the heat alone. If you don't finish in the top 2, you gotta go to the LCQs, the consolations, whatever you want to call it. Trust me, that is not where you want to be, especially if you're the likes of Dalston Rutherford or K-Dub here. You started in a transferring spot. It would be absolutely heartbreaking if you did not get the transfer out of your heat. That is just a bad way to start the night. When you're lacking behind and you have to fight from behind in your heat, it's a way different story. You can accept going to the consolation a lot easier. But when you start in that transfer spot, it's just not going to be the same. It's going to feel very, very bad if you manage to make a mistake and lose out on that transfer spot. A little bit of a scuffed start here. That caused everybody to kind of start and then stop. If we look, Dalston Rutherford, our leader, maybe a little bit of a jump start there. I'm not entirely sure on the rules where the start zones are. That seems to be a very, very hot topic nowadays for literally whatever reason. But I believe maybe the end of 3 and the end of 4. I think maybe 4 hadn't really gotten started yet. I'm not sure. Either way, it's going to be a restart. Dalston Rutherford has been sent to the back, so it is going to be ruled a jump start on our pole position. And that means Nate Wimhoff, I'm assuming they're just letting the row move up, and if that is the case, Nate Wimhoff is going to be the one really, starting on the inside of row number 1, going to be very, very advantageous for him. Makes his life a whole lot easier, so I bet he is extremely happy with the decision that Rutherford has made here tonight. Want to give a big shout out to Lab Rats Racing for hopping on board with the network and with the series, more importantly, helping out the DRT, being generous. Also, big shout out to Atlas Very, very pivotal here for the Dirt Revival Tour. Also a big shout out to the World of Thunder Esports League, Wotel, established in 2017. Doing a whole lot of cool stuff for the dirt racing community here. They have been doing it for years, and I'm sure they'll continue to do it for years to come. iRacing official pace truck is still out on track. Lights are still on. Hopefully if we can get a look at it. Okay, they are off now. So we should be set to actually, I guess, start heat race number 3 here. Gonna be Nate Wimhoff in the 48, kicking us off. Green flag is out, and Nate Wimhoff had a little bit of a connection issue. Justin Byram had the lead there for a tiny second. That's going to automatically be thwarted by K-Dub in the number 24, part of Adapt Sim Sports. He's got the 19 of Justin Byram all over him. Justin Byram just recently cresting the 5K I rating. So congratulations to him. He's got the 32 of Scott Colm Jr. behind him, but more importantly, he's got Dalston Rutherford right on the inside of him. Nate, I can't tell who that is. I think it might be Nate Wimhoff, still having a ton of connection issues, to the point where I don't think 2 of his laps have even counted. He is just appearing and disappearing in the last position. So as of right now, it currently looks like K-Dub and Rutherford are going to be the 2 making it through, but Justin Byram still has a little bit of fight left in him. Around the top for Justin Byram here in the number 19. He's going to be coming to blows with what looked like Dalston Rutherford. But out of turn number 2 was an incredible run by Rutherford. He is going to escape the jaws of Byram. And now Dalston Rutherford is really going to war here with Nate Wimhoff. Wimhoff going to throw a little bit of a switchback there. And it's really unfortunate for Wimhoff because it shows him as P6 for me, and Dalston Rutherford is going to kind of just move him out of the way. Now here comes Big Ed Byram in the front of Nate Wimhoff. Nate's on the berm, the 32 of Scott Colm Jr. coming around. It's going to be K-Dub who wins the heat in the number 24, but it's going to be Dalston Rutherford who claims that final transfer spot. The other 4 cars going to have to go to our consolation races, which will be coming up, well, right now, actually, as our consolation is gridding up. We'll get into your starting grid. Well, I thought I'd be getting into your starting grid, but it appears iRacing has some different plans for me. For whatever reason. Can we try now? Yes, Jeffrey Hyatt in the number... I actually don't know what number he's rocking tonight. It looks like 76 again, maybe. So Jeffrey Hyatt in the 76 going to be starting on pole. Justin Byram, who we just saw in that last heat race, he will be in P2. Tyler Bickford, Zach Staggs going to be sharing row number 2. Jamie Kreutoff and Casey Borgmeyer going to be starting P5 and P6 respectively. And Kinzer Tosh, after a terrible start to heat race number 1, he is going to be filling in the back here in our first consolation of the night. $12 laps here in this consolation, and when we get done with these, don't go anywhere, folks, because we will have our main event of the evening. All these late models running around Lernerville, 70 laps Going to be one heck of a time. Jeffrey Hyatt is going to get us started. We are green here for this consolation. I'm not sure how many people are making it out. Jeffrey Hyatt just ripping around the top side, not a care in the world. Justin Byram already down one position. He conceded that to Tyler Bickford. But right back on the offensive is going to be Justin Byram. They're going to exchange slider lines corner after corner, and it looks like Bickford might be getting the best of him here. Turns number 1 and 2. Yes, he will, but Byram's got the crossover. He's going to send it back on Bickford. It's going to work. Byram with the slightly shallower line. It really killed Tyler Bickford's run, but Tyler Bickford able to get it back again with that slider. 9 laps to go. Jamie Kroitoff, Casey Borgmeyer are already out. It's going to be a 5-car race here, as I'm not sure how many were taken, so I'm going to assume every position is important. Jeffrey Hyatt still with a firm lead in the number 76 late model here. Tyler Bickford going to be right behind him, and on that last lap, it is going to be a big advantage towards Tyler Bickford as he sets the fastest lap of the Consi with a 14.60. Justin Byram just a little bit behind with a 14.64. Jeffrey Hyatt a couple tenths behind, believe it or not. So halfway through this Consi, and it is definitely not over. Tyler Bickford going to have a horrible run going down the back straight, though. You saw Jeffrey Hyatt just stretch the legs of that late model, able to run away from Tyler Bickford a little bit. As now we're going to get new lap set, and it's going to be Jeffrey Hyatt with a big advantage that last time around. But through turns 3 and 4, the front runners here in Hyatt, Bickford, and Byram looking very well coordinated, looking very precise with their actions. A little bit of wobble on exit there for Justin Byram. No harm, no foul. He keeps going. He's dipping his toes. Just a little too close to the apex of that berm, though. I hope he's not Icarus, flying a little too close to the sun. Over the start-finish line again, it's going to be 2 sticks up in the air for Barney the Flag Man, as Jeffrey Hyatt in the number 76 has got all the momentum on his side as it's into turns number 3 and 4 for the penultimate time. White flag in the air. Jeffrey Hyatt and Tyler Bickford fighting for this Consi victory here. Just seeding, really, man. It determines where they're going to start in the feature, and it's oh so important, but Tyler Bickford cannot catch up. Jeffrey Hyatt holds on and wins the Consi. Tyler Bickford in P2. Justin Byram rounding out your rostrum there in P3. Zach Staggs, Kinzer Tosh, Jamie Kroitoff, and Casey Borgmeyer is your running order for this Consi race. And I'm not sure if we're going to have another consolation or if we're going to be getting into the feature. As yes, we do have another consolation. How could I be so blind? Yes, all these members. How could I forget? I haven't seen them on track yet. Or twice, I should say. Jordan McLean in the number 5 is going to be on pole with Dylan Jones. Outside row number 1, Scott Colm Jr. and Aiden Lambert. Going to be in row number 2 with Jacob Isaac, Nate Wimhoff in row number 3. Jordan Endries in P7 in that number 15. Got to be a big consolation race here for Jordan McLean. He's got a lot riding on it. He done a lot of practice here when the session went up. No telling how much practice he did before this race, but all I know is that I do believe he is prepared, and I do believe we will be seeing him in the feature. Lights are out on the official iRacing pace truck here. Soon it will be pulling into the safety of the pits, and our final race before the feature will be taking place. Remember, guys, don't go anywhere, because we've got a main event here after this and after we decide the quick six. But for now, green flag is in the air. 12 laps of this Conti, and that's going to be the 32 of Scott Colm Jr. just parking it in front of everyone. That's going to hold the line up just a tiny bit. The Scott Colm Jr. is going to benefit from that move. It's going to be P2 from him. He can't manage to cap off the run with some solid exit momentum, but look at him now, the 32. I mean, Scott Colm Jr. He's here, he's there, he's everywhere. If you know, you know. And Jordan McLean is absolutely loving this already. Almost a 2-second lead for him. These guys cannot get around Scott Colm Jr. You shall not pass, is what he's saying. In the number 32, Aiden Lambert's just going to throw a desperation slider. He has no front bumper, it looks like. He got it to work, but Scott Colm going to match the energy on that run down the starting straight. Here comes Nate Wimhoff. He had connection issues during his heat, and that ruined his chances of transferring right out. But it looks like he's in a pretty good spot here, as he is going to take the very shallow line. Early entry into the corner there for him. Almost a little bit of a desperation lunge. Aiden Lambert with a little bit of that as well. Jordan McLean suffering from success. It's going to be a very boring 12 laps around this circuit for him, because he is already off to a 2-second lead. 5 laps to go, and Jordan McLean is all business. Scott Colm Jr. still holding it down in that second place spot. Going to be 4 laps to go here at Lernerville. Nate Wimhoff in the number 48. He's going to be up 3 spots from P6 to P3. Battle happening behind you. On the left side of the focused frame there, it looked like Jacob Isaac and Jordan Endries were going to war. 2 laps to go, 2 more trips around Lernerville here in virtual Sarver, Pennsylvania, as Jordan McLean could not be contested and he could not be touched here in this consolation race. White flag in the air. 2 more corners for the number 5 of Jordan McLean, and although he couldn't do it in the heat, the Consi proved really no challenge, and he is going to walk into our main event taking place here very, very shortly. Scott Colm Jr. finishing P2. Nate Wimhoff going to round out the podium in P3. Jacob Isaac, Jordan Endries, Aiden Lambert, and Dylan Jones. As now, ladies and gentlemen, I do believe we're going to be setting up for our quick 6 here. And unfortunately, this is the part of the broadcast that gets really confusing when it comes to the timing tower, ladies and gentlemen, because the iRacing official service, it can't really register what they're trying to do here. It is a warm-up session. They're basically running an arbitrary race here to determine our top 6. So with that being said, there they are, ladies and gentlemen, your 6 fastest currently. And they will be going to war here in the quick 6 dash. Blake Culver in chat is saying who we got winning. I know I'm not supposed to be a biased man up here in the broadcast booth, but hear me out. I think it's K-Dub's night tonight. We're looking at him right now. He's in focus. I think Kevin Walker might be getting the dub here tonight in the number 24 Adapt Sim Sports late model. It'll be really, really fun to see. Brandon Jones in the number 15, gonna take off, and I forgot how many laps we're running here. I'm not going to be able to see anything. So there goes the number 207 of Stephen Gaines the third. K-Dub currently in second place. Starting our second lap, we'll keep it focused on Stephen Gaines the third because boy, oh boy, is he quick. Maybe my allegiance fell in the wrong camp because it looks like Stephen Gaines the third might be a multi-time winner here in the DRT season number 3. And I mean, it looks to me like he's got a whole lot of speed. That could be, you know, just something that I'm seeing and not everyone else is seeing, but I'm pretty sure you guys are seeing it too. Big mistake there by the number 77. Not actually entirely sure who that could be. See Dalston Rutherford not having the greatest of performances here, and I believe it's going to be Brandon Jones. No, not Brandon Jones. I apologize. As it's, oh, I apologize, it's Kevin Horner. Kevin Horner not going to be in the 121. He's going to be in the 77, it appears. See, that was what was throwing me off because I was so used to that 121 on my screen, and I didn't really think Kevin Horner would change out of his league number, but there he is, the 77, repping Carson Hocevar. Ride the Dente. Kevin Walker, K-Dub there, trailing Stephen Gaines the third. It's very, very unfortunate, and that looks like it's going to be it. Stephen Gaines, Kevin Walker, and then I believe might have been Aiden Lewis behind him. That's going to be a very, very frustrating thing to be able to get right because I can't even remember what just happened. But it's all good and fair, and while the drivers are taking to the track to figure out how they are going to dissect this 70-lap feature race we have tonight, I will leave you guys with some racetrack ambiance while I'll step aside. I'll grab some water. I'll use the bathroom. If you need to, you might do the same. When we come back, it's going to be the main event of the Dirt Revival Tour season number 3, round number 3 here on the Outpost Racing Network. Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dirt Revival Tour season number 3. It's going to be round number 3 here at the Lernerville Speedway. 0.4 of a mile here, 0.37 mile track length, and we are just about set to begin our feature race of the night. 70 laps around Lernerville Speedway. Let's get into your starting grid for tonight's race, and it looks like we got, well, I take that back. The quick 6, I still can't really remember. I think it was Stephen Gaines the third who will actually be on pole, with Kevin Walker, I think, was getting the second. And then I believe it went Aiden Lewis into Brandon Jones and then into Kevin Horner and Dalston Rutherford. That could be completely wrong, and we'll have to see here in a few minutes. But regardless, P7 is going to be Jeffrey Hyatt in that number 76 machine. And then we head to Jordan McLean. Tyler Bickford in the 07 is going to be starting in P9. Scott Colm Jr. rounds out your top 10. Justin Byram going to be in P11 with Nate Wimhoff starting on the outside of row number 6. Zach Staggs is going to be in P13 with Jacob Isaac, part of Midwest Sim Sports, in P14. Row number 8 is going to see Kenzer Tosh and Jordan Endries. Both of those drivers with their fair amount of mistakes here earlier tonight. They're going to have to try to make up for it here in the feature race. Jamie Kroitoff and Aiden Lambert, followed by Casey Borgmeyer and Dylan Jones. That is going to be your starting lineup for the race here tonight. Lights on the iRacing official pace truck are going to go dark. And that can only mean one thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's time to go feature racing here at Lernerville. It's the DRT Season 3 on the Outpost Racing Network, and we are green. Stephen Gaines the third with an incredible launch out, but it's going to be the 15 of Brandon Jones who gets in the way of that pretty quick. It's going to nullify the momentum that our pole sitter Stephen Gaines had going into it. Kevin Walker going to be very close in tow, but he's got a whole lot of drivers who are bidding for that exact spot. It's going to be the 77, the 15, and the number, I believe that is 5. Yes, look at that. That is Dalston Rutherford out here. Already up 2 spots. Someone's off the track. It's going to be Brandon Jones. So one of our top 6 has already found his way off of the berm. We are still green. As Brandon Jones is going to be going really, really slow here up and over into the pits. And that is probably his night over with. So after all that, he is going to have a very, very anticlimactic feature race here tonight at Lernerville. Drivers going to start the race by really trying to use up that track state, use up the grip that might be there in the bottom. Once that gets worked in and that gets slicked over, drivers are going to move to the top and try to push it around the top, keeping their momentum as high as it can be. But Stephen Gaines the third is probably going to be the architect of this race. I assume whatever line he's going, everyone else is going to follow. So he will be directing traffic, so to say, here, unless a driver just knows that they have a line that may or may not be better. But either way, still a incredible start from our leader here. Dalston Rutherford now struggling a little bit. He is going to collect Kevin Horner and Jeffrey Hyatt with him there. 3 wide now, Hyatt on the bottom. Going to be Rutherford up top. Kevin Horner is the meat in that 77 Chili's machine. And around the top side now comes Mickey, and he is going to be off the berm. And that is going to be him in a very, very tough spot. He's going to come back out onto the racetrack. No damage done to him or anything. So very well thought out there. As soon as he lost it over the berm, he didn't panic. He calmed it down, kept it composed, did not rejoin unsafely. And that is why we could still go green. And it begs the question, I wonder if Brandon Jones maybe happened to hit something. I'd hate to go back and take a look while we were green. So if I can remember during the first caution, we'll take a look at what exactly happened to Brandon Jones in that situation. But Jamie Kroitoff and Dylan Jones didn't even come to the grid. I'm not sure if it was an only taking 18 situation or if they just chose to not participate. But Dylan Jones, Jamie Kroitoff did not take the green flag. Brandon Jones, after completing 2.83 laps, his night is over. Big battle now between Jordan McLean and Justin Byram. Up there on that high side into turns number 1 and 2. It's going to be advantage Byram for now on this lap. Into turns number 3 and 4, though, going to be a little shaky from Scott Colm Jr. in front of Justin Byram. They are both up 3 spots, have been traveling the grid together, it seems. But now Scott Colm Jr. has a very, very talented target in front of him. It's going to be Aiden Lewis in the number 55. Up and coming talent. Very, very solid now. It was a little lackluster when I first saw him a little over a year ago. I believe that might have been season number 1 of the DRT, but he has just improved and improved. Multiple people over there in the Midwest camp have praised on Aiden Lewis for his development, for his consistency, and gaining of it, I should say. So very, very good to see him running in P6 here. Unfortunately, it is going to be 1 spot worse than where he started, as Jeffrey Hyatt in that number 76, choosing to be a little more aggressive towards the start. It was very canonical with Jeffrey Hyatt for him to just be very, very passive and underdrive the car on purpose in the beginning, so that way he could have a lot more stuff for that late race. The only problem with that is he was taking the beginning half a little too easy. He was a little too far back. He was sagging a bit far back on the grid, and he never gave himself enough time to truly get up towards the front. So now Jeffrey Hyatt, I'm assuming, is still trying to take a little bit of that save angle, that eco, if you will, you know, put it into gaming terms like in Counter-Strike or Valorant. He is on a little bit of an eco round right now. He's not completely using all of his arsenal, but he is managing to stay inside of that top 5. So if he can save like he normally does, or at least close to it, he should still be a very, very quick and very rapid force as we get to the latter stages of this race. But on the right side of your screen, just a few cars back, you can notice it in the peripheral. Jordan McLean going for a move on Scott Colm Jr., and everything is going to come to a grinding halt because we have got our first caution of the night. So first things first, I want to take a look at Brandon Jones here, and we're unfortunately we're not gonna see the entirety of the story, so we are gonna have to back it up because it was so long ago. So maybe a little bit of damage off the track, but looked like he never really caught any damage from the outside. So I'm not entirely sure, you know, the severity of that damage from that collision with Aiden Lewis. Here's Jordan Andrews, the number 2, just going to throw himself up into that. Basically use Jordan Andrews as a wall, or that's at least what it looked like to me. As it's going to be the 2 of Aiden Lambert. Yes, so that's going to be very big contact. I assume got to be some sort of damage on that car, and you can see it there. I mean, it looked like the car just had no desire of turning right whatsoever, or turning left whatsoever, I should say. I apologize. So iRacing official pace truck making its way off of the racing surface. We're set to go back green. Drivers have completed a fair few amount of laps here as we get started. It's going to be 25, starting on number 26. We've got 45 laps left to go here in our feature race for the Dirt Revival Tour. Round number 3. It's also season number 3, and the competition just keeps heating up. 44 laps to go. Drivers have now transitioned to running that top side. And here is where the pandemonium might begin. All these cars jockeying for position over here on the top side. And if you look at the track, yeah, I mean, it looks severely worked in. It looks very, very tight and technical out there. And who is going to be the front runner? Who is going to emerge as someone quick and on the case? And we've been going with them all night, but I'd love to watch it come to fruition. I was going to say Jordan McLean, but he had a little bit of a moment there. Entering turns number 3 and 2, he is in the ringer, as he has got cars in front that he needs to overtake. He's got cars behind that he needs to defend from. And personally, that sounds like the perfect person to ride on board with. Here is Jordan McLean. So there they are, the two battling, Jordan McLean and Scott Colm Jr. And it looked like it might have all came to a head there in turns number 3 and 4. Not going to for now, as you can hear the absolute roar of those super late models, man, making a whole lot of noise. It's such a fantastic thing to hear. 35 laps to go, which means drivers have crossed that halfway point, and it does not seem like it. It seems like we just got started, ladies and gentlemen. Just under 11 minutes ago was when the race actually started. It goes by oh so quick. And Steven Gaines the third, speaking of quick, him and K-Dub both putting on an absolute show here tonight. It has been stagnant. It has been just Steven Gaines the third and K-Dub running pretty much identical lap times. The distance is not really closing or opening. I was trying to think of a word. I almost wanted to say gappening, but that's not the word. But here comes K-Dub, and just a little bit of a hedge, a little bit of buffer on his speed heading into turns number 3 and 4 there. He had the run, elected not to pursue anything yet, and there is still a long time left in this race, K-Dub, so I do not blame you at all. Meanwhile, for SG3, it just looks like another day at the office. He is ripping the top here with pinpoint precision. And this is exactly what we see from him, regularly here in the iRacing Dirt Oval community. SG3, not a guy to play with. And to be fair, K-Dub has kind of evolved into that as well. He's another driver, just like Aiden Lewis. When I started covering Dirt Oval stuff a little over a year ago, Kevin Walker was a mid-pack Larry, to quote Apex this. They were sitting in the mid-pack, maybe a little bit lower down, but K-Dub has quite literally evolved into a main event talent, and the I rating is there to show for it, 6,100. From the side of him, Kevin Horner getting past Jeffrey Hyatt. That's going to be for P5, so is Jeffrey Hyatt starting to run out of steam, or is it all part of the plan? We'll have to find out here very, very shortly. Jordan McLean also in a big, big fight. It's a 2x2x2. Horner and Hyatt, McLean and Colm, Isaac and Byram, Tyler Bickford working his way into that equation as well. He had a moment a little earlier on in the race, and that's going to be Jordan McLean, who has now had the moment. Oh no, the driver I put so much stock into towards the beginning of the night has had himself a meeting with the berm, Mr. Bermie Sanders, and he is not going to be happy with that. It's going to be a P12 spot for him now. Kenzer Tosh as well, not having the best of nights out here. P15 for him. He is going to be exactly where he started, however. So not moving up or down in grid position. He's going to be the only driver out on track to actually do so. 21 laps to go here. Drivers have completed lap number 49, working on 50 now. Someone is off into the berm. And with every lap that goes by, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be harder, a lot more technical, a lot more methodical to actually work your way around this Lernerville racetrack. That top line, that berm, that cushion, whatever you want to call it, feels a lot more like ice every single time you go around it. When you are this late into the race, the three-headed horse of SG3, K-Dub, and Dalston Rutherford have ran rampant over the rest of the grid here tonight at Lernerville. I mean, these guys are clocking lap times that are about 3/10 faster than the rest of the field. So these three drivers just doing an absolutely fantastic job. Dalston Rutherford here, part of Trackside Dynamics. They're in that number 5. 14 is his assigned league number. But it looks like 5 is what he is repping on the car. Kevin Walker. K-Dub making Adapt Sim Sports very, very happy with the performance here tonight. 15 laps to go, and it is now hunting time for K-Dub. Dalston Rutherford, unfortunately, is being left out of this scenario, but SG3 and K-Dub going to war here with only 14 laps remaining here at Lernerville Speedway at Virtual Sarver, Pennsylvania. Beautiful Sarver, Pennsylvania, might I add. Dirt Revival Tour, round number 3. Remember, guys, bi-weekly series, so we won't be here next Monday. That's going to be Scott Colm Jr. heading off of the berm right in front of the leaders. That could have spelt disaster for SG3, K-Dub, or Dalston Rutherford, but it's going to be no harm, no foul. We stay green, we stay rolling. But we'll bring up the league intel here very quickly. Next week, it's I-55. And if I'm not mistaken, I do believe we have a different lap count than what we have here this week. I don't believe it's going to be 70 laps. When we go there, it's going to be 80 at I-55 Federated Auto Parts Raceway Park. And then, obviously, August 10th, we head to Charlotte for our final race of the season, SG3. 10 laps to go. Looks like it might be 9. Jordan McLean getting into it with Casey Borgmeyer. And it's going to be a whole lot of lap traffic for these leaders. One car is just going to I don't even know what to say. Too Fast, Too Furious when they jumped off the ramp onto the boat. That's what it looked like when he was jumping off the berm. I still have no idea who that was. I think it might have been Jacob Isaac, potentially. 8 laps to go. Here goes K-Dub with the slider. It is getting real now. It's going to be a little bit of a last-ditch desperation effort, though, from K-Dub. He had almost no momentum to help him accompany the move heading into turns number 3 and 4. SG3 takes it right back, but now this lap along turns 3 and 4, a little bit more parity, a little bit more calmness in the body language of both SG3 and K-Dub. Dalston Rutherford is going to be a 2.5 back, and he will have 1 lap car to pass, and it looks like that might be the 5 of Jordan McLean, who has been through the absolute ringer here tonight. He is actually going to pull it off of the berm. His night more than likely over. 5 laps to go, which is going to be 4 here momentarily. SG3 takes the flag. It's going to be 4 to go now. Almost no competition for these two. And with 4 laps to go, I think they're going to have one more encounter with back markers. It's going to be the number 19 of Justin Byram, and that's actually going to be a caution flag out. Jordan McLean has had a moment after going off the berm again. So a big spin from him. So you already know tires are going to be, well, I shouldn't say that. I don't really know how tires would be after going off and playing in the grass like that. But as you see, Jordan McLean trying to keep up speed, and he wanted to re-enter the racetrack, but I think he couldn't find a good spot to do it, so he wanted to stop like it was practice, because that's normally where the cars sit before they enter the track. And unfortunately, that is going to count as the racing surface, so probably not his intention to get the yellow flag out there. There was just really no room for him to rejoin, especially this part of the race. When everyone is running those top lines, it's very hard to re-enter, especially when the fields are spread out as it is. So it's only going to be our 2nd caution of the night, ladies and gentlemen. And it is more than likely going to be our last, because I think we are going to have a natural green-white checkered here for our finish. And I just want to say, for all the people out in chat, I don't have the script. I'm not a bookie. But I'm not going to say I called it because it hasn't happened yet, but I said Kevin Walker could be the one to win this here tonight. And he is in a very, very good position. He is going to have the advantage of being on that outside for this restart. Steven Gaines III slowing it up big time as the iRacing official pace truck is going to take off. It's going to ideally be one more start on the night, and it's going to fall on the shoulders of Steven Gaines III. K-Dub had a little bit of wheel spin taken off, so that might be an advantage for Dalston Rutherford to move into 2nd, and Kevin Walker is off the track. Up and over the berm. And SG3 is going to take the white flag. We are official. Oh no, Kevin Walker. Jeffrey Hyatt's going to have a little bit of a scuffle with Kevin Horner. It's not going to result to much. Steven Gaines III is a multi-time winner here in season number 3. He gets it done with very little resistance. It only came in the form of K-Dub. But SG3 gonna get it done here in round number 3. Dalston Rutherford in P2, up 4 spots. Jeffrey Hyatt going to be in P3, also up 4 spots. Wow, what a fantastic race. You could see SG3 right up there on the victory lane. That'll make for a very nice picture. That'll make for a very nice celebration on what I can only imagine is a very nice Monday night here for Stephen Gaines III. And so before we get into our post-race interviews here, I do just want to go over your final results for the feature race here tonight. Before we kick it to our interviews, Stephen Gaines III is going to be your winner. 6/10 behind him is going to be Dawson Rutherford with Jeffrey Hyatt behind him. And then it goes Horner, Bickford, Lewis, Byram, Walker, Wim Hof, Borgmeyer, Scott Colm Jr., McLean, Lambert, Isaac, Tosh, Endries, Staggs, and Brandon Jones here tonight. And our first interview going to be the driver who finishes in P3 here tonight. It's going to be Jeffrey Hyatt in the number 76. Jeffrey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing well, man. I love Lernerville. I love to see you guys go to war here. And that's exactly what it felt like watching it up here in the spotter booth. So tell me, man, how did it feel?
Honestly, I wish the caution would have come out sooner. I kind of feel like shit though, because I kind of slid and I thought I had left Aiden enough room, but I guess he kind of caught my quarter and kind of screwed him out of probably a top 3. So I really wish I could have avoided that. But all in all, yeah, it was decent. I went with a little different setup. Probably, I guess, I don't know. I could have probably just went for broke and see if I could have got ahead of Dawson right there. But I knew Aiden was kind of up there, so I didn't want to throw a Hail Mary, but I kind of ended up screwing him anyway, so I guess I should have just went for
it. Yeah, well, hindsight is always 20/20. I'm sure you made what you thought was the best decision out on track. Now, I do have to ask, we head to week number 4 here in 2 weeks. It's going to be I-55, so a track that doesn't share too many comparisons when you compare it to somewhere like Lernerville. So how's the frame of mind kind of shift, and, what's the structure kind of look like when it comes to preparing for a race at I-55 after something, kind of on the different side of things with Lernerville?
Honestly, I don't know. I've been I have my moments there. Last time I ran there, I was really good. So hopefully I can kind of do that again. But I don't know. I guess we'll just see. It's nice kind of getting away from this place. I don't typically enjoy this place because you have to run the top. Usually I'm not fairly well here, and I don't know. I kind of seem to found something that kind of fit me the last couple races. I think I've had like 3 races here in the past like week or something. Seems like, but yeah, I don't know. We'll just give it our best shot, I guess, when we go there.
Well, I mean, that is all you can really do. That's all you can ask for, really, when you show up to the track. But we're going to let you get out of here, celebrate your P3 here tonight. Before we do, is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
Yeah, Midwest M Sports, CFM. Appreciate you for what you're doing, all the streaming, and then Wednesday nights. Big shout out to Crispy though. He kind of got his deal started a long time ago, High Side Hustlers, and then it kind of turned into DRT, and with him, Shots and Chase. I really think if it weren't for Crispy, none of us probably running this thing at all. So I really like to show him thanks and stuff like that.
Yes, sir, Mr. Hyatt. Well, it was a pleasure talking to you again. Hopefully, we talk to you soon up here in the Outpost Racing Network broadcast booth. But for now, we'll let you get out of here and celebrate. Gonna be P3 tonight for Jeffrey Hyatt in that number 76. And now moving on, we're going to be moving to our P2 finisher tonight, who, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this might be the debut in the Outpost Racing Network broadcast booth for Dalston Rutherford here, who finishes P2. Dalston, how you feeling, man?
Pretty good. Second time I finished fourth at Lernerville, but we stepped up the second finally.
Yeah, very, very good. And you looked rapid, to be fair, all night tonight. It just seemed like you had a little bit of chaos a few times heading into turns number 1 and 2. I think your 3 and 4 looked a lot better than 1 and 2. Would you agree with that? And if so, what do you think was so different about the corners that kind of made you hesitate or have those mistakes?
There was a big bump going on the one I didn't like the hit. I've never been good here. I don't like it. Never will. I was just belly on the gas, hoping not to fall off. Like Kevin did going on the one after that caution.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, you seemed fast here tonight. You say you don't like it, but I mean, hey, you can't argue with the results. You finish here P2. Now, round number 4 here in 2 weeks, we head to I-55. Let me pick your mind about that track. Heading in, do you feel more confident than you did heading into Lernerville here tonight, or is I-55 somewhere you don't really like?
I like I-55. I like the tracks. I'll probably be better, hopefully, but I don't know. Hope I do.
Yeah, well, it'll be very, very fun to see. But you finished P2 here tonight. You were very, very quick. Is there anybody you would like to shout out or thank for the performance here tonight?
Second. I'd like to thank Trackside Dynamics for letting me on and giving me something good to learn.
Yes, sir. Well, we appreciate talking to you, Mr. Rutherford. Hope to see you back up here in the booth for, more rounds to come. Still 2 rounds left in this DRT season. We'll see what you can do. But it's going to be Dalston Rutherford here who finishes P2 tonight at Lernerville.
See you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we move on to our winner of round number 3 here tonight. It's going to go to SG3, Steven Gaines III. Steven, how you doing, man?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic, and you have got to be doing fantastic as well, because besides for Kevin Walker, who put up a very good fight until he accidentally exited stage right a few laps before the end, you were pretty well uncontested. I mean, you looked absolutely rapid out there. Walk me through it. How did it feel?
Yeah, we were really good to start with on the bottom. We had a lot of drive center off the corner. Thought we were really good down there, and as Lernerville is, you start working right around the top, inching way up, and before you know it, you're at the top. And thought I was decent. I didn't feel bad. I was dealing with the nose pushing tight really bad in the center off of 1, and I could just see Kevin slowly starting to make his circles, getting closer, and I didn't even know how many laps were left, and there was 5 to go, and I finally seen him, and he's right up to my bumper, and I was like, yeah, here we go, here's a race, because I didn't think I had anything for him, because in my mind he was a lot better than me for about 10 to go, and thankfully a caution came out. I was praying for a caution. I was ready for a restart. I thought if I could get a restart, I could get out in front of him a little bit further and make him make a mistake, or just getting the field back together. And with 2 to go, it kind of helped me. Played out in my favor and brought third back up, and they started racing, and it gave me an opportunity to slip on by and just get out of the way. So very, very happy with the night and the season. I think that's 2 wins and a second. So I mean, can't really complain at all.
Yeah, without a doubt, you have been the guy to beat here. You're going to be the only multi-time winner so far in season number 3. Now we look towards I-55, going to be 2 weeks from now. How do you feel about I-55? Do you think you can continue this strong run of form into there?
I'm very, very confident in my I-55 stuff. I've ran really good Pro Series level at I-55. Been able to keep it up front there. I love the racetrack. I think when it gets really slick, it gets really fun because it's another Lernerville. It's slow yourself down, run through the middle, and the guy behind you just has to be that much better to get around you. And that kind of racing just excites me because it's keeping your nose down. You know, you gotta do everything correctly to be out front, and that's fun to me. So I'm really, really excited, looking forward to it. Hopefully keep this going, top 3, and finish out this year, and hopefully get a championship.
Yeah, I mean, that is the goal, and it looks like you are well on your way to making that a reality. But before we let you get out of here and celebrate your 2nd win on the season, is there anybody you would like to give a shout-out to or thanks for the performance here tonight?
I'm going to give a big shout-out to Nick Roberts. Dude helps me so much. It's crazy. One of my best friends. I've met on a computer, and guy takes time out of his day and builds me a set in the server, and we come out and we win it, and we're really good, and I just can't thank him enough. All my guys at NLRA, Blake Culver, Atlas Designs, if you ever need a wrap, anything IRLs, anything at all, just get with him. He'll draw you up, he'll do you right. Henderson Amusement, NLRA, thank you for putting on the broadcast. This league, it's fun. It's something fun to do every 2 weeks on a Monday night instead of going to get killed in the opener, so can't complain at all. Apex Setups, all my guys over there, they help me. We're not a public shop, but we're a real tight team, and love every one of them over there.
Yes, sir. Well, I appreciate the kind words, as I'm sure everyone else you showed love to did as well. That's going to be 2nd win on the season for Steven Gaines here, and that's going to be a victory at Lernerville. So enjoy, Steven. Hopefully we'll be talking to you soon.
Appreciate it.
And that is going to do it for us, ladies and gentlemen. From everybody at the Outpost Racing Network and everyone at the Dirt Revival Tour team, we appreciate you guys for inviting us into your homes here on a Monday night. Make sure to check back, not next Monday, but the next Monday. We will be at I-55 for round number 4. These drivers going to be taken to Peevely in their late models. Going to be one heck of a time. You'll be able to catch everything right here on the Outpost Racing Network. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. We'll see you in the next one.